In the news this week, we thought when the Ukraine war started, Putin would be isolated. He's not isolated. He had the BRICS nation. That's Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and now 4 or 5 other countries. It's about half the world's population, about 35% of the GDP. He's got North Korean troops in his war in Ukraine now. He's very chummy with China. China and Russia always hated each other, not anymore, and Iran. These are the dictator countries. There's a very World War.
All right, folks. Today we're diving straight into one of the biggest debates in modern politics, how different leadership styles shape global stability and influence our democracy here at home. This all kicked off during a heated exchange on Real Time with Bill Maher. Bill's guest was Megyn Kelly, the sharp-tongued journalist known for speaking her mind, and the two clashed over what true leadership looks like on the world stage. Megyn argued that when the US has a strong, unpredictable leader, think Trump, it keeps America's adversaries like Russia, China, and Iran on edge. That unpredictability, she claimed, was a core part of Trump's foreign policy strength. But Maher wasn't buying it. He countered that while unpredictability might be a great strategy in poker, it's risky business when you're leading the free world. If a president gets too comfortable ignoring democratic norms, he warned, it's a slippery slope toward authoritarianism, a threat that could be just as dangerous as any foreign adversary. The conversation dug deep into alliances, justice at home, and the fine line between strong leadership and something darker. This wasn't just a talk show spat. It was a real clash of worldviews about what kind of leadership the world needs in today's turbulent times. So, what does it really mean to lead responsibly? And where's the line between strength and authoritarianism? Let's watch the clip and unpack it together.
If my guy gets in, I think we'll go back to the time that we had when he was president, which is the only time we didn't start a war and get involved in a war. Did Putin?
That's not true. Jimmy Carter never fired a shot.
Putin did not invade Ukraine until Biden took over. We had the disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan, which projected weakness through the world. People understood that we were enfeebled, and that is what was provocative. Weakness is provocative.
I feel like
Trump destabilized these people. They didn't know what to expect of him. Next thing you know, he's bombing Soleimani. Trump did strategic strikes that had people on their heels. They didn't know what he might do to them. And we did not have Putin invade
It's what he might do to
Ukraine.
us that I'm a little more worried.
All right, so let's break down Megyn Kelly's take on Trump's foreign policy, because she makes a pretty strong case for what she calls the power of unpredictability. According to Kelly, one of Trump's biggest strengths was keeping adversaries like Vladimir Putin on edge. When world leaders can't predict America's next move, she argues, they are far less likely to take bold risks, like, say, invading Ukraine. She points to moments like Trump's decision to take out Iran's top general, Qasem Soleimani, as proof of that bold, decisive leadership. To Kelly, actions like that send a clear message: you mess around, you find out. And that kind of deterrence, she believes, makes hostile nations think twice before testing US strength. Now, contrast that with her view of Biden's foreign policy. Kelly argues that Biden projects weakness, especially after the chaotic withdrawal from Afghanistan. In her eyes, that moment signaled to America's enemies that the US might hesitate to act when it counts. Since then, she says, countries like Russia, China, and Iran have grown more emboldened, believing Biden is less likely to take decisive action. For Kelly, it all comes down to this: leadership style defines global stability. Either you keep the peace by making your enemies second-guess themselves, or you invite conflict by appearing uncertain. But that raises a much bigger question, one at the heart of modern foreign policy. Should the US lead with strength and unpredictability to maintain peace? Or does that approach simply stir the pot and risk even bigger conflicts later on? Does the tough guy strategy actually make the world safer? Or just delay the inevitable? That's the real debate, and it's not going away anytime soon.
Are getting together. In World War II, what did Hitler and the Japanese have in common? Nothing, except they saw the world one way: fascism. They all have to do it in their different way. Iran is a fascist country in their own way. So is China, so is Russia, Saudi Arabia, you could say also. Somehow, the world seems to be dividing between the good guy countries, the democratic countries, and these autocracies. And if your guy gets in,
During their exchange, Megyn Kelly and Bill Maher dive into something that's honestly pretty alarming: the growing alliance between authoritarian regimes like Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea. They even draw comparisons to the Axis powers of World War II. Yeah, it's that serious, Kelly argues that strong and unpredictable U.S. leadership, the kind she associates with Trump, throws a wrench in those partnerships. When America plays bold and keeps its adversaries guessing, she says, those nations are forced to think twice before making aggressive moves. In her view, Trump's approach made hostile powers more cautious and, in turn, helped prevent larger conflicts. Maher, though, sees a different kind of danger. He's skeptical that unpredictability can serve as a sustainable long-term strategy. His concern is that when a leader grows too comfortable flexing power on the world stage without restraint, that same attitude can start eroding democratic norms at home. To Maher, America's real strength lies in being steady, principled, and grounded in democratic values, both domestically and abroad. So what we see here is a real clash of worldviews. On one side, Kelly champions projecting strength and uncertainty to deter authoritarian alliances. On the other, Maher emphasizes stability and consistency as the surest defense against tyranny. At the heart of their debate is a crucial question. How can the U.S. confront authoritarian threats abroad without risking a slide toward authoritarianism itself?
We've had 4 years of Trump. We've had 4 years of Trump.
Yeah.
Trump did not go after his political enemies with the Department of Justice.
Right.
That was Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
Well, we had Hitler in the 30s and things were okay, and then we had Hitler in the 40s and they got way worse. Just because we had him.
He hid his Hitlerism the first 4 years, and is going to come out in full force.
He tried to do things like that. He tried to do dictatorial fascist things, and he was stopped.
Joe Biden has flouted the law when it comes to these student loan giveaway programs. He's flouted the law. Supreme Court opinions that told him he didn't have the right to do it, and he openly said, I will get around the Supreme Court. He did it with respect to rent abatement programs, the same exact thing. And then he and Kamala Harris unleashed this Department of Justice against their political enemy, Donald Trump, their #1 chief rival for the presidency.
Okay. Well,
is it funny? Because they did it.
We'll see.
You want to talk fascism? That's fascist.
Now let's look at Bill Maher's side of the argument, because he's coming at this from a very different angle. Maher draws a pretty intense historical comparison, and yeah, it's controversial, but stick with it. He compares Trump's first term to the early years of Hitler's rise, not to say Trump is Hitler, but to make a larger point. Early signs of authoritarianism can seem mild at first, but they can escalate quickly if nobody steps in to stop them. Maher's main concern is about unchecked power. Once a leader gains significant control, especially without strong checks and balances, things can spiral fast. What starts off looking like bold, decisive leadership can quietly morph into something much more dangerous if it's not kept in check. As he puts it, if we don't take those early warning signs seriously, we might not realize how far things have gone until it's too late. He also questions Trump's supposed restraint in foreign policy. Sure, Trump didn't start new wars, but Maher wonders if that restraint came from a genuine desire for peace and democracy, or if it was more about consolidating power at home. In other words, was it principle, or just strategy? At the core of Maher's argument is a critical issue. How do we protect democracy from sliding toward authoritarianism, even when the warning lights aren't yet flashing red? He insists that it's not enough to focus on what a leader isn't doing. We have to watch how they're using the power they do have. So yeah, it's a heavy comparison, but it's meant as a warning. Don't wait for the extremes to show up before you start asking the hard questions.